gosh. Okay. Oh, I'm losing my voice. I can't lose my voice. I'm too excited.
My God, I know. I just want to scream.
I'm still like in a state of shock that we are recording today. I mean, I thought for sure there is no way we're gonna know that because they're already telling us we're not gonna know, but he was too big to rig. And it was such a massive victory. There was no denying it.
I know it was insane. And like yesterday, I didn't even want to look at the news. Like the way my phone is set up, I just get the notifications for all the different news channels that I follow. And I set my phone down and I'm like, I don't want to look at it because I just like, I didn't feel good. I just don't want to see it. And I went to bed and then I wake up and I see a text from you at like, I don't know, 1 or 2 in the morning or something. And you're like, are we going to record tomorrow? Like, I don't think anything's going to happen with the election. And I said, unless we get some like major results or something, like whatever. And then I wake up and I just see Trump wins North Carolina, Trump wins Pennsylvania, Trump wins this. And I was like, holy fuck, like, I think Trump is winning.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so wild. I was talking to my mom earlier in the day and like she was on pins and needles. And then I was talking to my friend Megan. She was also a cop during 2020 and she was like kind of like reliving everything where it's like I just hope nothing bad happens like with people rioting. And I was telling both of them, I'm like, I can't explain it, but I feel really good about it. Like I really think he's going to win. And there was like no doubt in my mind and I just felt so calm. And then I'm like, I'm not even going to watch it because they're not going to have an answer. But then my mom texted me like early on in the night before like any of the swing states started coming in. And she's like, well, I mean, there's a lot of red. Like they're not holding back. So then I couldn't help myself. I'm like, okay, I'm fully dedicating myself to this now. And it was wild because I want to say like around 11 o'clock, um, was when I started seeing stuff. It was like after I texted you and all of a sudden I started seeing stuff coming in and I got real tired at one point and my husband's like, I think he's gonna win. Like, it's pretty much undeniable at this point. And I was like, yeah, but last time at 2 a.m., like we went to bed thinking he was gonna win, and then at 2 a.m., like all those ballots showed up. So then we were like literally taking turns sleeping, and he would like keep track, and then I'd wake up and so when I woke up around 2 in the morning, it was like he won. He-
Well, that's why I thought like, okay, I don't want to get excited. Like you were saying, you just felt like he was going to win. Well, so did I, but I thought there was going to be a bunch of drama and that it was going
yeah,
to take days to find out that he actually won. And I just thought I don't want to look at any of this shit. And then I see this clip on CNN, and it was before he was declared the winner, but it was obvious at that point he was in the lead. And I think at that time it was like 246 electoral votes for Trump and 187 for Kamala. And it was Jake Tapper, and he was talking to the national CNN correspondent. I think his name is John King. And they were standing in front of this map of like the United States, and they're looking at all the red and blue sections across the map. And Jake Tapper asks, he says, he was asking King, like, can you pull up the places where um, Kamala outperformed Biden in the 2020 election? So King pulls up a map and it's fucking blank. Like the entire map is blank, like nothing, not a single state. And Jake Tapper goes like, holy smokes, like literally nothing. And King says, yeah, literally nothing. Not one fucking state. So then Tapper's like, what about counties? Like any counties in the country? So he pulls up another map and he shows like there were only 58 counties in the country where Kamala outperformed Biden in 2020. And at that point, like Trump already had 4,600 counties across
mm-hmm.
America.
Yep.
And I was just like, it was fucking glorious.
It is. And that's what's so crazy because typically they'll show the map of the states. So you'll see like California, New York, like these states that are blue, but it's not the state. It literally is the county within the
County.
state, like one
Mhm.
county. Like for Illinois, that's where I'm from. And I was so bummed to see, like, oh, Illinois is blue, but it's freaking Cook County.
Yeah.
And it's like the people who are suffering right now from the migrants and the crime. And I'm like, how brainwashed do you have to be to still vote for this shit? Like, it's mind-boggling. They should do like a scientific psychological study on these people. But yeah, it's not like I don't think anything bad's gonna happen, but there still could be some chaos because she has not conceded or given
Okay.
a speech yet. And
No.
so she could, like, they're saying, they're prepped. They've got that election lawyer, so they could start filing, court cases. However, it's so big of a margin that they don't really have much of a case. I mean, it's not all the polls were saying, oh, this is the tightest race in history. He won by a landslide. Like, it is no undeniable.
Yeah, she completely ditched out on all of her supporters and
Yeah.
just didn't even show up at her like watch party, whatever it's called. Um, I from what I heard, like people had come from all over the country to attend this thing. She didn't even show up. Like she didn't have the balls to give any kind of speech. Even Hillary gave a speech and conceded in the election, but Kamala did nothing. She just abandoned her supporters and her campaign, like sent out a message. We're just going to go home for the night. You won't hear anything till tomorrow. And that's just so fucking weak to me. And that
Yeah.
just shows the incompetence of them.
Yeah. Well, it'll be interesting to see if and when she does give a concession speech, because that was something that the left kept going on and on about Trump about, like, oh, he's not going to concede, blah, blah, blah. So that'll be interesting. But you know what else I thought was super cool is in Trump's speech, he said, this is going to be the golden age of America. And I
Yes.
was like, oh my God, put a friggin' halo above his head. And I'm like, Age of Aquarius, I'm telling you, like, this is the age of Aquarius, and things are going to be so much better. Because we have the Senate too. That's the other thing. The
I
Senate won
know.
they flipped
Yeah.
two red or two blue seats.
Yeah. I was so surprised. And this was the first time in a long time that I've gotten to hear anything live. And I was listening to the Daily Wire's live feed of Trump's speech. And like it almost brought tears to my eyes. And when he said he's going to govern by one motto, and it's going to be promises made, promises kept. And like I 100% believe that. And I'm not really an overly emotional person, but when I woke up this morning and I started seeing that it was looking like it was going to be Trump, I called Erin and I left her like a voicemail. And I was choking up because it was one of those things where I was like, it's the first time in 4 years that I have felt pride in my country. And we do this gratitude practice every morning where we leave each other a message. And I was like, I am so grateful to the people of America for standing up, for going out and voting, and for having pride in our country and wanting to make it great again. And I just like I was literally choked up because I just feel so fucking happy. And it's the
Yeah,
first time I feel hopeful. It's the first time I felt hopeful in the last 4 years.
me too. I feel like this was a fork in the road.
Mhm.
And like I think he said, didn't he say something like a lot of people say that I was saved that day so that I could come and save America? I
Yes.
believe
Mhm.
that. Like
Yep.
I fully believe that. And I just like you, I'm so hopeful. And you know what's interesting too is what was the biggest thing that everyone on the left was so afraid of was abortion, abortion. Like he's, whatever, abortion. There were so many states with abortion on the ballot, and a lot of them put in more lenient measures. So it actually made abortion better for the liberal places. Now, Florida, no, Florida's like, get the fuck out of here. We're not, because it was like abortion with no restrictions. And so I think this was good too, because I think it showed everyone that's pushing this narrative, the people, want a nice middle ground. Nobody wants abortion with no limits, but people still think that we need it. So I think that was good. And it kind of destroyed their whole narrative too, because it's like, well, look at now, like your state's actually more liberal with abortion because you got to vote on it. And that's thanks to, the Supreme Court.
Yeah, but I don't know if you've seen, I'm assuming you probably have all of the meltdowns that are coming out from the
I
left.
haven't seen it yet, but
Oh my
I am sure
gosh.
it's crazy.
Erin sent me one this morning. This girl is in tears about how her rights are being taken away and just, the wholehearted belief in all the lies that have been coming from Kamala's campaign. And of course, the left is saying, like, oh, it's Russian election interference, and that's how
Oh,
Trump
gee.
won. And it's like, what did the
No.
Democrats spent over 1.3 billion, I think, Democrat
Yeah.
donors on her campaign. And it's like the American people have spoken and they're saying fuck you to the elites. And
Yep.
I fucking love it. Like I
Yep.
feel so good. I actually Erin and I spoke this morning on the phone. And the first thing she did was she broke out in song, that like
I
proud to
love her.
be an American. And I just started laughing because I'm like, yes, exactly.
Oh my God, my daughter and I do that like all the time. It is so freaking funny. But yeah, I really am though. I really am. And
Yes.
you know what? Like this did restore my faith in our system
Yeah.
because I still think that 2020 was rigged, but I think that because of that, all the work that was done behind the scenes with Laura Trump and the RNC and everything, I really do think they put a lot of measures in place. Like she had posted something like we have 500 attorneys in each swing state or something like on standby. So I just feel like there's integrity again with our system and I feel really vindicated because like I've always said, these polls are such bullshit. And they were saying, oh, they're neck and neck, like right there. And they're not. Social media was more accurate. And that's what I was using to get the pulse of where everyone was at. And I just feel like, thank God I'm not losing my mind. I had a feeling. And what I was seeing on social media was saying he's going to win by a landslide. And I was right.
Yeah, because he won the popular vote and the
Yes.
electoral college. And
Yeah.
the electoral college, I think last I checked was 277 for him and 224 for Kamala. Like
Mhm.
that's a huge difference.
And the popular vote, I mean, they were saying it's like impossible for a Republican
Hmm.
to win the popular vote. So yeah, he did. In Florida, it's very interesting because Biden lost Florida by like 3 points. And then I think she lost by like 10 points. And that was something, honestly, I was a little worried about because after the 2020 election during COVID, we had an unbelievable number of people from New York and New Jersey move to Florida. And I just kept thinking, I hope they learn their lesson and are going to vote red. And sure enough, even Miami-Dade has been Democrat forever. Miami-Dade County flipped by 13 points. 13
I'm gonna
points.
I'm gonna guess that's probably because of the immigration issue.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, I mean, it's just like wild. Georgia flipped, the state of Georgia, they're now
Mhm.
saying it's like a red state. Like it's crazy. Pennsylvania, that's where the Senate seat flipped to Republican. I mean,
Oh my God. I was just looking up at some articles real quick, and it's like it already says that Russia is already reacting to Trump's win and he's getting all of these congratulation messages. And fuck yeah, he is. Oh, so okay, here's what it says. Russia's Security Council said um Harris is finished and Russia's special military operation will continue until its objectives are achieved. And I saw the greatest meme of Zelensky, and it was like Trump's most Trump's biggest loser.
oh yeah, I bet he's shitting his pants right
Of
now because
course. But I want to know what Biden's going to say and what Kamala's going to say. And they haven't said a fucking word yet, at least not as of when we
There are
start
so many
recording.
memes going around about Biden where it's like Biden's face right now, and it's someone kind of like, ha ha ha, like, because I mean, people are like, maybe if he would have stayed in, there would have been less of a landslide. But, they put all their chips with Kamala and she clearly failed. And then it showed like Joe Biden or Jill Biden walking out from voting. And they're like, I wonder who she voted for.
Well, she was wearing a red suit.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know. I'm still like thinking about what JD Vance told Joe Rogan, where he's like, um, talking
Biden
about like,
helped.
I want to know what Biden's going to say. Like, once he's out of office, is he going to spill the beans?
Yeah. Oh,
Oh,
this is
and then,
just insane.
yeah,
Go ahead.
did you see Joy Reid, like that MSNBC host that is super deranged? And she calls the entire state of Florida racist and fascist. Like,
Yeah.
really? Are you kidding me?
Someone said like tomorrow's going to be the only time I'm going to tune into The View to watch like the meltdown that they're going to have.
Yeah. Yeah. I was thinking about that too. And I was thinking about all of these celebrities that endorsed her and like basically we're getting all this hate now because of it. I wonder if they're wishing they didn't do that.
That's why I wonder what this means for Hollywood.
Oh, yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, I think Hollywood's been on a slow decline, but especially now. And the other thing my husband said, he goes, imagine what Fauci's feeling right now because they're going to unleash RFK on him. And
Yep.
he's been wanting to go after Fauci forever. And now that they have the Senate, they can get like a lot of shit done in the first couple of years.
Have they maintained the house though?
They don't
Because
know for sure yet.
okay, because
That's
that was
still
last
up
I
in the
saw.
air.
Yeah,
Yeah.
last I saw they didn't know yet. So if he gets the House and the Senate, that's going to be incredible. And I was trying to look up earlier, like when the last time that happened was, and it was his last presidency. So, but this time he's coming in knowing shit that he didn't know last time,
Hmm.
and
Yeah.
he's going to be fucking amazing.
And I still say if he went in last time and truly drained the swamp,
Mhm.
it would have been mass chaos. But now that so many people have seen what it's like and how bad it can get, they're going to be like, fuck yeah, get rid of all of them. Go
Yeah.
wild. And if they have the House and the Senate, I mean, great. That's amazing. Oh my God, some girl tweets, white men without college degrees are going to ruin this country. No, I'm pretty sure they're saving this country.
Oh my
God,
God. Oh my
so
God.
funny the way people think.
It's just that's what I'm looking forward to the most today is the meltdown from the left.
Yep. Oh, I'm gonna be on social media just reposting all of it. Oh, you know what else is like freaking Google. So in the middle of the night, at one of the points where I woke up, I wasn't seeing, like, I was scrolling on X and I was seeing like older stuff. And I was like, what the heck? Where is the update? So I type in the search engine electoral votes and it
Mhm.
pulls up the map and it's like all this blue. And I'm like, what? And I'm looking at it, I'm thinking, great, they stole the election again. But then I look, it was the map from 2020. But they put
Yes.
that in the top of the search results. And I'm like, are they trying to like mess with people? You would think they would be on top of it and they would make the real map the first thing that pulls up.
Probably though, because most of what I was seeing from the MSM was not declaring Trump the winner, but saying it's not looking good for Kamala's campaign and just refusing to actually acknowledge that he won.
Yeah. There was this clip from a CNN anchor who I guess was at Kamala's headquarters, and they're like, what's the temperature there? And she's like, I think the best way to describe it is radio silence.
Yeah.
And that was early. That was like before, that was maybe around 10 o'clock. So I was kind of like, all right, well, this is good. But then people were commenting, yeah, because she's on her way to rig Michigan and Pennsylvania. Oh my God.
I don't think she would have been capable of giving a speech that was not
No.
pre-record, pre-written at her
Yeah.
campaign event. There's no way she could have spoken on the fly at a, with a loss. I just don't think
Yeah.
she could do it. And that's why but to not show up at all, that's just such a slap in the face to all of your supporters.
Yeah. I know. And have you heard about any riots or violence breaking out?
Okay, so Aaron told me this one. I guess Antifa tried to riot in Seattle. And this blew my fucking mind. But the cops came in, they shut it down immediately, and they arrested like 200 people. Like they didn't even let it get started, which Seattle is one
Oh
of the
my
most
God.
liberal cities, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you look at what they let happen to Seattle in 2020, and I was so shocked that they shut it down so quickly. And so if they can do that in every city where these motherfuckers try to riot, then it's not going to happen.
This is like, it's just fucking amazing. It's
Yeah.
so none of it I really anticipated. I thought there would be some kind of issue. And I mean, knock on wood, I don't want to
Yeah.
like jump the gun, but I mean, I
Well,
didn't think it was
that's
going to go this smoothly, this fast.
which is why I'm questioning it because I'm still in denial almost that it did go this smoothly. And then we can't forget, technically, Biden has 2 more months to continue fucking up the country.
Yeah.
So who knows what's going to happen in the
Yeah,
next two?
that is true. I mean, but we have to remember too, like, imagine what Biden's feeling. He's probably like wanting to flip off the left right now
Yeah.
because they staged a coup and clearly it didn't work. And so I don't know that he'll allow anything. But then again, like he doesn't even know what's going on. He's not really
Right.
controlling things. And yeah, like, are they going to try to push some crazy ass bill through the Senate last minute,
Of course they are.
you
Yeah.
know?
Without a doubt, we're gonna continue to send billions of dollars to Ukraine. He's probably gonna try to get us into a war before the year is over. But at this
Yeah.
point, because we've already had the election, they can't really
I
stop
don't
him
think they
from.
can push it because imagine like Putin right now is probably like, okay, North Korea, like calm down.
We
We're
can
not going to
wait.
break out into war. Like they were probably literally waiting to see. And if Kamala got in, it's like, I think that's what they were gearing up for. And
It
I felt,
depends, but I think it will depend on how much Ukraine pushes it through the end of the year. Because if Ukraine starts striking the interior of Russia with all of these missiles that we've given them, like that's going to be an issue.
yeah. However, I do think Trump even before he's officially in there, I'm sure he's having talks. Like he's already talked to
Yeah.
Zelensky.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just feel like whatever happens there, we have a much better chance now than we did before.
Yes.
Um,
And I'm just like no longer the typical voice of doom that I am on this podcast because I feel so good. Like I literally feel hopeful.
yeah, I do too. I feel like we have shifted into a new golden age, like he's calling
Yes.
it,
Yeah.
where, it's
Because like you
crazy.
said earlier, this time it's not just him. He's got
Yes.
some of the biggest names on his side. I mean, with
Hmm.
him and RFK Jr. together and fucking Elon Musk and
Yep.
Tulsi Gabbard and the whole, what did we call them? The Super Friends team or whatever.
Avengers.
The
Yeah.
Avengers. Yeah. I mean, it's just like I have the biggest smile on my face.
Yeah, I know. And I think they probably all already have a whole list of agenda items that they're
Mhm.
already kind of working on to implement right away. Because normally you build your team once you're in office, and that's what he had to learn the hard way the first time around. But
Yep.
he's been building his team for months now. So they're like ready to rock and roll
And I
right
didn't even
away.
mention JD Vance, and I should have because I fucking love that guy.
Yeah,
And he's going to be an outstanding vice president.
I know. And he can handle the media,
Yeah.
like even if that was the main thing he focuses on, no, I feel like no one can handle it better than he can because he's so just friendly and likable, but he is
The
smart and
only
knows the
person
facts.
that I felt really rivals him when it comes to that is Vivek.
Yeah,
And they're on the same team.
right.
So it's just going to
Yeah.
be
Yeah,
incredible.
I wonder what Vivek is going to do.
Mhm.
You know, he's going to be on something. I really hope he puts him on the Department of Education because he wants to dismantle it
Yeah.
and take that money and like let the parents make the decisions on what they're going to do, where they want to send their kids to school. I think that's great and I think it needs to be done.
Yeah. I'm so excited.
Oh my God, Donald Trump Jr., show me the memes.
Oh, they're
Send them below.
coming.
This is going to be glorious.
Yeah, they are already fire.
He's so funny.
It
Oh
is
man.
awesome. Okay. Well,
We have
I know.
made America great again.
Yeah. Even already, I just saw I'm very curious to see how this response is in Europe because they're already having fucking meltdowns and like borderline riots in Europe over Trump's victory. And all
Really?
the climate change
Oh,
activists, I guess
jeez.
they've already spray painted the US embassy in London with orange paint. Oh, this is
Unbelievable. Well, at least
great.
it's in Europe and not here. I mean, no offense, you're over there, but
Yeah.
I'm just shocked that it stopped in Seattle and we haven't heard anything.
Yeah, but it's still the morning, so
True.
we'll see
I'm
what
sure they'll
happens.
release their thugs.
Yeah. Well, again, I think everything will may hinge on what Kamala ends up saying if she finally does speak.
Yeah, I just looked up all of her pages, her headquarters, her campaign, not a word,
Nothing. Yeah,
radio
nothing.
silence.
Yep. Which again, to me, that says it all.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh man, I feel so good. So my mom's like, we're gonna go out to breakfast and we're gonna celebrate. I'm like, yes, we are. I told it's so cute. So my um 5-year-old daughter, she has been like really listening to everything we say, and she tells people Donald Trump is gonna be our next president. And when he is, we're gonna have a party. It's celebrate. So I'm gonna tell her we're gonna go out
True.
to breakfast and celebrate.
Yeah, I was so excited that I had soup for breakfast. And I know that sounds really fucking weird, but I had made this soup the other night and it was just like, you know what? This is fucking awesome. I'm gonna have soup for breakfast. Totally
Soup,
strange.
it
Soup.
always tastes better reheated, in my
Oh
opinion.
yeah,
Like
100%.
I love making like we had soup the other day and I put it in this like Dutch oven and then let it like reheat on the stove and it
Mhm.
like I don't know why, but it just tastes so much better when it's
Yeah.
reheated.
I'm at the point now where I make a lot of soup because it's cold as fuck here right now. But we don't even eat it the night of, just wait until the next day.
Yeah.
Totally random. Anyway, I text my mom too, but early this morning, so she's 9 hours difference and she was asleep. And I guess she woke up to go to the bathroom or something. And she saw my text and I just said, Trump won and Republicans won the Senate. And she texts me back and she's like, I was so afraid to look at or watch any of the news for fear of going into a deep depression. She's like, thanks be to God. I'm going back to sleep now with a happy heart.
Oh, I know. It's such a good feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah, Libs of TikTok is posting all sorts of videos, lots of crying, lots of
Yeah. Meltdowns. Lots of
mhm.
meltdowns.
That's what
Yeah.
we should talk about. Like literally, like we should just have a bunch of like clips and memes on Friday because
Mhm.
it's gonna be funny.
Yeah. It's going to be great.
Wow. All right. Well, I feel like this just we've like completed a mission or something, It's like I feel
I
like
know.
we were so much like, okay, we really need to like wake people up um and I'm just so glad to see that so many people voted for him and it was a landslide.
Okay, because you brought that up, I'm going to play this message that Aaron left me this morning. And I just thought it was so sweet. I have to find it real quick. So I won't play the whole thing, but I want to play some of what she said.
Oh my gosh. Babe, I can't wait. Like, I don't know, like in 30 years, you and I are going to be sitting together having coffee, and I'm going to go, man, I remember that time when I got up to go pee and I saw my best friend's message that said Trump won. It's just the greatest. Oh, babe, and listening to your message, like, man, you got me crying, man. I'm over here fucking crying. Oh, wow. Wow. And you know what amazes me is I've barely just started to look at, like, some of I had the same thing. I had like some little notifications come in or whatever, but the thing that amazes me is for her to have conceded after all this bullshit and for them to have called it so early means that it was not only a landslide, it was a fucking landslide. Like, it had to have been to that point where they were like, we lost. Like, there's no amount of votes we can buy. There's no amount of people we can fuck over. There's no amount of whatever. We lost. And that just, oh. And honey, I don't know, I have this overwhelming feeling that I wanted to take this moment to say, without a shadow of a doubt, that you had a part in this. Your podcast, you and Stephanie's podcast, had a fucking part in this. And I don't care how hard you and I are on ourselves, because we are, and that's okay. That's why we have each other, so we can remind each other of how amazing we are. But I got goosebumps right now. Fuck. Like, honey, you guys and your podcast had a fucking hand in this. And
I just thought that was so sweet.
I
And like,
love her. Thank you, Erin. I literally, when she said I have goosebumps, I had goosebumps at the same time. I almost broke out into tears.
yeah. And I just thought that was really cool. So we may not have impacted the world, but we have made an impact. And I'm proud of us for that.
We used our voice for good,
Yeah.
and now we still have freedom to do so. And I feel
Exactly.
amazing about that.
I know.
Oh my God. Okay. All right. The golden age is here. I am so psyched about like talking about all the shit that's going to happen moving forward, because
Yep.
they're going to get in there and they're going to make things great really quick. I just have a feeling like things are going to turn around like left and right. And now I feel energized. Like I don't have to worry about, okay, what if Kamala gets in and I'm fucking depressed? Nope. It's going to be like
Yeah.
good news to report left
Yeah.
and right.
Exactly.
And he needs to go and rest because he
I
sounded
know.
very exhausted. The
Oh
poor
my
guy
God.
has been going nonstop. Just go sleep for like 2 months.
Yeah. He made a comment in his speech about how last night was his like last ever rally. And I was
Yeah.
like, wow, it really is, because whether he won or lost, he'd said he wasn't going to run again.
Hmm.
So that was his last ever campaign rally. And
Yeah.
now he's just going to focus on bringing our fucking country back and making it better than ever.
Oh, so good. I feel my heart is full. I feel so happy. And yeah, I guess we'll update everyone on Friday with whatever happens. I mean, hopefully this was such a big win that there isn't any crazy stuff the Kamala campaign tries to do, but we'll keep everyone posted. And yeah, make America great
Happy,
again.
yes, happy Wednesday. This truly is a happy fucking Wednesday.
Ah, amazing. All right. Enjoy the rest of the week, and we'll see everyone back here on Friday. Thanks for tuning in.